picturesque cruise vacation turned into a nightmare as unsuspecting tourists found themselves in the midst of nature's fury. What was meant to be an exciting adventure became a fight for survival, leaving many to question the fine line between thrill-seeking and reckless endangerment. How could a dream holiday end in such tragedy? This is the true tragedy of the White Island eruption. On December 9th, 2019, what seemed like an ordinary day aboard Royal Caribbean's Ovation of the Seas quickly spiraled into a catastrophic event that would forever change the lives of those involved. As the massive cruise ship docked near the shores of New Zealand, a group of eager passengers prepared for what they believed would be the highlight of their trip, a visit to White Island, also known as Whakaari, an active volcano that had long been a popular tourist destination. Little did they know that beneath the island's seemingly calm exterior, a deadly force was brewing, ready to unleash its power without warning. The stage was set for a tragedy that would raise serious questions about the safety of volcano tourism and the responsibility of cruise lines in protecting their passengers. As we delve into this harrowing tale, we'll explore the events leading up to the eruption, the aftermath, and the ongoing legal battles that have ensued. But first, let's take a step back and understand the players involved in this tragic story. Royal Caribbean International, a global cruise line company known for its large and innovative ships, had been offering exciting shore excursions to its passengers for years. These excursions were a common feature of cruise itineraries, allowing travelers to explore fascinating destinations and engage in unique activities. The company catered to a broad range of passengers, from families to couples of various ages, all seeking unforgettable experiences. One such experience was the White Island Tour, promoted as an opportunity to visit an active volcano. It was an adventure that promised to be both thrilling and educational, giving tourists a chance to witness the raw power of nature up close. But as we'll soon discover, this proximity to danger would come at a terrible cost. White Island, or Whakaari in Maori, had a long history of volcanic activity. Located off the coast of New Zealand's North Island, the island had been monitored by GeoNet, the country's geological hazard monitoring system. Despite its active status, it had become a popular tourist destination, with thousands of visitors each year eager to walk on its moon-like surface and marvel at its steaming vents. On that fateful day in December, 38 Royal Caribbean passengers joined a tour to White Island, unaware of the danger that awaited them. The volcano's activity level had been rated at level 2, indicating heightened unrest but not suggesting an imminent eruption. This classification, while cautionary, didn't deter the tour from proceeding. As the tour group made their way across the island's barren landscape, cameras clicking and excited chatter filling the air, the first signs of trouble began to emerge. Survivors would later recount feeling a sense of unease, a primal instinct warning them that something wasn't quite right. Suddenly, without warning, the volcano erupted in a violent explosion of ash, rock, and scalding steam. The once tranquil scene transformed into a hellish landscape in a matter of seconds. Thick, toxic clouds billowed into the sky, obscuring visibility and making it difficult to breathe. The ground shook and searing heat enveloped the island. Panic ensued as tourists and guides scrambled to find safety amidst the chaos. Some sought shelter behind large rocks, while others ran toward the shoreline, desperate to escape the island's fury. The lucky ones managed to board a nearby tour boat that had witnessed the eruption and rushed to assist. Others were not so fortunate. As news of the eruption reached the Ovation of the Seas, shock and disbelief spread among the passengers and crew. The realization that their fellow travelers were caught in a natural disaster quickly turned the festive atmosphere of the cruise into one of anxiety and fear. Back on the island, rescue efforts were hampered by the continued volcanic activity and the dangerous conditions. First responders, risking their own lives, worked tirelessly to evacuate survivors and recover the injured. The scene they encountered was one of devastation. Bodies strewn across the ash-covered ground, some with severe burns, others barely clinging to life. The final toll of the White Island eruption was devastating. 22 lives lost and 25 others seriously injured. Among the casualties were American and Australian tourists, their dream vacations ending in unimaginable tragedy. In the immediate aftermath, Royal Caribbean scrambled to provide support to the affected passengers and their families. Medical assistance, counseling, and logistical help were offered, but for many, it was too little, too late. The company found itself at the center of a growing controversy, facing tough questions about its decision to continue offering tours to an active volcano. As the dust settled and the world grappled with the shocking images emerging from White Island, attention turned to the question of responsibility. How could such a tragedy have occurred? Were there warning signs that were ignored? And who ultimately was to blame? Investigations revealed there had indeed been indications of increased volcanic activity in the days leading up to the eruption. While the Level 2 alert didn't necessarily predict an imminent eruption, it did suggest elevated risks. Critics argued that this should have been enough to cancel the tour, or at the very least provide tourists with more explicit warnings about the potential dangers. The incident shed light on the complex relationship between cruise lines and local tour operators. While Royal Caribbean promoted and sold the White Island excursion to its passengers, the tour itself was conducted by a local New Zealand company. This arrangement, common in the cruise industry, raised questions about accountability and oversight. As grieving families sought answers and justice, the legal battle began. Lawsuits were filed against Royal Caribbean in both the United States and Australia, alleging negligence, failure to warn, and failure to ensure passenger safety. The plaintiffs argued that the cruise line had a duty to protect its passengers and should have been more diligent in assessing the risks associated with the volcano tour. Royal Caribbean, for its part, mounted a vigorous defense. The company argued that passengers were aware they were visiting an active volcano and that the inherent risks were understood. They pointed to past court rulings that had favored cruise lines in similar cases, suggesting that they had no additional duty to warn beyond what was already known. The legal proceedings brought to light the broader issues surrounding volcano tourism and the cruise industry's practices. How do companies balance the desire for unique, exciting experiences with the need to ensure passenger safety? What level of risk is acceptable, and how should it be communicated to travelers? These questions extended beyond just Royal Caribbean and White Island. The incident sent shockwaves through the entire cruise industry, prompting other companies to reevaluate their shore excursion policies and risk assessment procedures. It also led to increased scrutiny of volcano tourism worldwide, with authorities in various countries reviewing their regulations and safety protocols. For the survivors and the families of those lost, the legal battles were about more than just compensation. They sought accountability and changes that would prevent similar tragedies in the future. Their stories of loss, pain, and resilience served as a powerful reminder of the human cost of the disaster. As the courts continue to grapple with the complex legal issues surrounding the White Island eruption, the incident has already left an indelible mark on the cruise industry and adventure tourism as a whole. It has forced companies to confront the delicate balance between providing thrilling experiences and ensuring customer safety, and has highlighted the need for greater transparency and risk communication. The tragedy of White Island serves as a stark reminder of nature's unpredictable power and the responsibility that comes with venturing into potentially dangerous environments. It challenges us to consider the true cost of our desire for adventure and the lengths we're willing to go for a unique experience. As we reflect on this devastating event, we're left with important questions about the future of volcano tourism and the cruise industry. Will stricter regulations and improved safety measures be enough to prevent similar incidents, or will the allure of experiencing nature's raw power continue to draw tourists to active volcanoes despite the risks? The White Island eruption has forever changed the lives of those involved and has left an enduring impact on how we approach adventure tourism. It stands as a sober reminder that in our quest for extraordinary experiences, we must never lose sight of the extraordinary forces of nature that shape our world, forces that demand our respect, understanding, and utmost caution. This was the true tragedy of the Royal Caribbean excursion. May the souls of the victims rest in peace.